Well, I've been playing around with this Thundertoga MTA4 when I shouldn't really be. I should be mending that Savage 25. This MTA4 is pretty much done now. I put a different receiver in it. I've put what else have I done? And that's it. I've adjusted all the linkages. It's got a different receiver in it. It should have been ready to rock and roll now. So I need to stop messing with this. Let's go and have a look to see what else we can do with this Savage 25. I've got more bits now that should have come with it the first time, so we should be able to get it to a point where it's drivable at the very least. So the other day this box turned up and inside it is an air filter. Happy days. It's not a good one, but it's what he's given me. It's his truck, it's his car, he can put whatever filter he wants on it. The bumper and the bottom plate all in one. This is the main thing that I needed because it keeps all the pins in and it's just the main thing. I've also got that as well, that bloody thing. I hate these things. I've all got to put on, and the necessary screws to put them on. So let's get this installed, shall we? I reckon we should. I reckon that might be a good idea to put that on now. Sometimes little nuts and bolts, they will insist on just being a right pain. Oh, now that one's come loose, is it? Oh no, it's stuck in there still. Get that off of there. That one's stuck in there somehow. Right. We'll get there. One of the things that I hate the most about Savages is their way that their steering is. These steering things are bloody, they're awful, they really are. So now that's come out of there, and that bolt now is stuck in there. So we need to get that out. I can take that off of there. Use these small mold grips. I'll use the small mold grips on the bolt itself, and I'll use the big mold grips on this piece of rod. And they won't grip. Right, over to the vise. Right, over to the vise now, because it's the only other thing I've got to grip this. We should be able to now undo this bolt from inside here. There we go. It's coming undone. What that was doing stuck in there, I have no idea. But we can get rid of that because that's no good. We're going to have to find a proper bolt for that. Yeah, the way the steering is on the Savage is it's the worst point, I reckon, but it's alright. We'll work through it, we'll get it sorted out. Now with any luck, the bit that we want, that needs to go in there like that, and there's a screw in there. All I need is another screw that can go in there. I need my other mould grips, because where I cut this bolt off of here, hopefully I'll be able to grip it with my other mould grips. These little ones are quite handy. I might need to take the other one off though and get the screw out as well. I don't know yet. Is it going to turn? No, you see it's going to turn a whole lot out of there. So I'm going to be in the same situation, look, as I was in the other one. This is going to come out, and that's our bolt that was stuck in the end of there. Why they got stuck in there is anyone's guess, but it's stuck in there. So I'm just going to go and do exactly what I've just done on the other one and get that one out. There we go. All I've done was put this bit in the vise just like I've done on the other one. Got the mould grips on the end. Oh, it's falling out now. It's falling on the floor. Where's it gone? There it is. And there's the rest of our bolt. I could have just, I know you're going to say, why don't you just drill the head off? I could have drilled the head off, but it's anyone's guess when my drill's gone. And, well, yeah, it could be anywhere now. Everything's a bit topsy-turvy at the moment. Right, both of them are installed again. So now I'm going to have to find 2 new screws. But what have we got in here? I'm sure I'll better find some screws somewhere. But in this piece of polythene cling film, I've got various different screws. I need one of them. I need the ones for the end of this really. That was probably one of them. I think we're missing quite a lot of screws, to be honest. That one's too small. So I've got one that fits, and that's got to go in between there. So I can stick one of the screws in. It doesn't matter, I mean, bloody hell, my Savage, both of my Savages are missing these screws. At least one on one side. They go all over the place all the time, and you never get them back. So, as I said before, the request was for this was just get it running, alright? Just want it running, just get it running. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. We should be able to use the steering now. We've got the bumper on, so that's going to hold the pins in place. I'm going to cable tie the top on, the cover and the battery. The battery is only a 4.8 volt battery. It's not man enough really. These are 6 volt servos, but it'll do the trick. Obviously it's been used in there, so it must work. A bit too much milk in this coffee really, but that's alright. It should work. I can stick that air filter on. I have to have a look at that. Is there any foam in there at all? I think there is a foam in there. How the hell do you get it out and clean it? Oh, there it is. You just take that out. Look. Maybe you just pull that off. I don't want to break it. It's not my filter. Anyway, we'll put the filter on, and we should be ready for a test drive. We fired it up, didn't we, in the last video? So we know that it does run. Because originally this was sent to me by someone who's, I think they literally just bought it. They bought it, they couldn't get it to run, or something happened to it, or they couldn't get it to steer. We should be able to steer now. We've got that plate on, everything should be fine and perfect now with steering. Yeah, so let's get that on, get the cable tied round, and we'll go from there. Now hopefully I'll be able to just cable tie without getting in the way of that servo. If I go like that, and I can go up like that, past the exhaust, because all the 3 pins have been snapped off. Because what happens is, people, they get the hump trying to get these radio covers off, these radio tray cover box things off, and they just get the hump and then they just rip it off. And it snaps all the little, whatever you want to call them, little pin things off. There's 2 at the front and 1 at the back. They're easy to get off if you've got a bit of patience and you know how. All you've got to do is bend that forward slightly. and they'll come off as easy as pie. But people get the hump with that. So put that on there for now, holding that radio cover on. It shouldn't be in the way of the servo, hopefully. We'll have to see. Get a pair of side cutters. Get a pair of side cutters. We'll cut that off. Cut that off. Now, really, it needs an aerial tube for this to work properly, because it's a 27 megs radio. It needs the aerial. Let's stick the air filter on. That's one of the worst air filters I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, have I got any batteries in here? I have got batteries in here. Right, that's on. Well, it was on. Yeah, it's not very good, this. There we go. Now it's on. The transmitter's definitely seen better days, but if he decides to keep this truck, he can just get a better radio gear. So that works. We get full throttle and we get brakes. Happy days. That's what we want. Oh, that's the throttle. There we go. I've just accidentally adjusted the throttle trim, which I didn't want to do. There we go. Then we get full throttle and some amount of brakes when we do a bit of braking. Now, really, I reckon the brakes need to come off, and it probably needs a whole new lot. It needs to be adjusted. But for the point of getting it running, that will be more than enough. For Savage 25, which has very clearly and obviously been abused in its lifetime, whoever had this before, they really probably didn't do a lot for it. They probably was one of them people that likes to take things apart and smash it up, or they were just one of those people that just didn't care about anything, a bit of a temper on them, and just sort of run it, and then if they needed to change the battery, ripped it apart. But you never know, when you buy a second-hand Nitro car, or anything second-hand, you don't know what sort of person's had it, because there's so many different people out in the world. You just don't know what you're getting. I think that's probably part of the fun of the game, you know, when you buy something second-hand, especially a Nitro car or anything in that sort of hobby range. You don't know what you're going to get, do you? Right, let's fire it up. Is that on or off? It's on. Hello. Lost our connection again in here. There it is. Happy days. Right, let's fire up this beast and see if we can get it to run for any longer than what we did last time. Well and truly primered. Bit of nitro in the teeth, just wash it down with a bit of coffee. Oh yes. Right. Here we go. Not the happiest of engines at the moment. Let me just sort that out. Turn that in a couple of turns. Turn that in a couple of turns. And we should get it up and running. All I want to do is I just want it to tick over for a little while. And then we go from there. It could be that that plug's not a lot good. That could be what it is. Or it could just need a good old rev. It might be a bit bunged up, you know. That could be the case. Well, it did second gear then. Now I'm not going to mess around with this too much more. Not at the moment. I think it's ready for a test drive now. I've got steering. I'm going to charge that battery up fully. I need to put an aerial tube on it. I'll have to nick one off one of my other cars just temporarily while I run this for test driving purposes. But the engine runs, and it runs alright. Just doesn't like ticking over, but that might just be because it needs to be ran. Happy days. Right. So the next time that we see this will be... What the bloody hell is that? Bloody peg! 2 pegs. The next time we see this will be out and about giving it a run, and we'll see what the engine's actually like. That being said, hopefully by then, actually let's get an aerial tube. Where can I get an aerial tube from? Hang back, let me go and get a tube. I'll stick a tube on it now. The only one I've got is a blue one. So we'll put a blue tube on it. It needs a failsafe on it, really. I know some of you are going to mention it. Put a failsafe on it, needs a failsafe. I ain't got no failsafes. I gave them all away. I gave all my failsafes. I had a few spare failsafes. I gave them all away. Because I know there's some people, subscribers that were running 27 megs, and I said you need to run a failsafe. They said, I can't afford a failsafe, so I said, I'll send you a failsafe. So I gave all my failsafes away. So I've got no failsafes now. So we're going to run without a failsafe, alright? I know it's risky, but what can you do? What can you do, my friends? There's a lot of risky things in life. Anyway, thanks for watching. Remember, treat everyone equally. Treat people how you want to be treated, and all have a nice, happy life. If you want to see this running, stick around. If you want to see other cars running, the Thunder Tiger running, you want to see any other cars that I've got, you want to see them running, they'll be coming up soon. Stick around, and I'll see you later on. Cheerio.